Yeah, what happened here was me and Joe Stevenson won the Ultimate Fighter, and Dana White or Joe Silva called me and wanted me to be his coming out party, basically. And I was like, okay, I'll fight him. And they offered me 3,000 to show him 3,000 to win. I was like, come on, like what's he getting? And they're like 10-10 or something. He won the Ultimate Fighter. I was like, I just beat him, or not just, but I had beat him in a minute and a half or 2 minutes before. I was like, I'm not fighting him for a quarter of what he's getting. And it ended up, not happening. We got in a big argument about it. I end up they call me.
Big argument with who? With Joe Silva or somebody else?
With Joe Silva. And
he's probably not used to people standing up for themselves, I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I said no, and they call me back like, tell you what, we'll give you 4 and 4, and Joe starts talking shit. And I'm like, fine, I'll do it. Something happens, and they never send me my contract, and I'm waiting for it, and a month goes by, and I sign to fight in the another event. I forget what it was, but they were paying me $20,000 flat, and it was 35 days before the UFC. And I said, and then they see that I signed that contract, and they call me and say, hey, you can't fight that fight. You're fighting for us. I said, man, I've never even got a contract from you guys. And they said, bullshit, we sent it to you a month ago. I said, I mean, I didn't get it. And if you didn't get it back a month ago, I'm sure you would have asked for it by now. Like, and big old ordeal. And so they tell me, you can't take that fight. And I said, then I need to get more money. Like, you guys never sent me a contract. They're going to pay me $20,000 flat. You're paying me 3 and 3. And he keeps telling me, or 4 and 4. And he keeps telling me no. And then I said, well, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm going to fight this fight. I don't need to fight in the UFC right now, blah, blah, blah. And I get off. Dana White calls me back, and he's like, hey, you need to fucking take this fight. You can't back out. I'm not backing out. You guys never gave me a contract. And this fight is for X amount of dollars. And he goes, if you don't take this fight, you're done in the UFC forever. And yeah. And I said, hey, and they've given me tickets to the UFC plenty of times before, him or Joe. And I said, hey, my anniversary is this weekend. We're going to be in Vegas. I said, can you hook me up with some good seats to the fights? And he goes, I don't know. And I hung up. And I was into it. And so the next day, Dana White posts on the Underground, Chris Brennan's a fucking bitch. And by the time I got to it, it was 20 pages deep of people talking shit to Dana for being the CEO, trash talking one of the fighters. And I didn't even get on for a long time. It was 1,000-something comments. And I ended up going to that UFC. And while I'm at that UFC, I'm walking out of the pool, and I hear Chris Brennan. And I look back between these wrought iron fence. There's people sitting eating lunch by the pool. And it was Yukino from Pride. And she says, come here. Calls me over. I sit down right then, and we iron out a deal. And so I get my Pride deal at one of the UFCs. Nice. I leave home. That's on a Saturday. I get home on Sunday. They call me on Monday and said, hey, you want to fight in our next event? And I was like, fuck yeah. And they said, okay, it's Sunday. You're going to fly out Wednesday. And I was like, oh, what? And I hadn't been trained. I was in the process of opening a school in
where are you at weight-wise?
Check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms.